The finals game at the college level for the women crushed everything. I mean, it was like number one by far for any game that we had seen. It was exciting. The problem is it's just not there yet. I mean, I think maybe it'll get there. Who knows? I don't really follow sports a lot, so I don't have any expert commentary on this. My only understanding is I see people tuning into the NFL in droves and to the NBA and, some of these other male sports leagues, and it's just not there yet for women. If she can bring it, she'll get paid, but she has no right to make what her equal over there in the men's league makes in being number one in a far more competitive league. That's part of why he's getting so much more than she's getting. That league, this guy would crush her in a one-on-one. He's number one, she's number one, right? But these are not apples to apples comparisons. So clearly she was content to take the deal, and I think she should do it.
Have you ever witnessed a moment when everything changes in an instant? That's what happened in the WNBA recently when Megyn Kelly brought to light some serious allegations of abuse against rising star Caitlin Clark. We will explore what these claims mean for Caitlin, the WNBA, and the future of women's sports.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in sports, but Nike, in order to promote equity and fairness and diversity and inclusion.
Caitlin Clark has emerged as a significant star in the world of basketball. She is truly exceptional and has been attracting a lot of attention for her remarkable skills and performances. However, not everyone is pleased with her rise to fame. Some reporters in the media have been expressing their displeasure in a rather harsh manner. Recently, a well-known journalist, Megyn Kelly, made headlines by making bold statements regarding the Women's National Basketball Association and its treatment of Caitlin Clark. Kelly did not hold back and brought attention to how the league has portrayed Clark as if she were an adversary.
Megyn Kelly dropped a bombshell about how the WNBA treats Clark like an enemy. Can you believe that? Kelly slammed the league, claiming Clark faces serious abuse on the court while the league looks the other way. She pointed out that some players are targeting Clark, and the physical hits she endures often go unpunished. Kelly didn't shy away from the racial undertones either, suggesting that some in the league resent Clark for stealing the spotlight simply because she's white. This isn't just basketball drama, it's a wake-up call about race and competition in women's sports. As Clark continues to dominate and bring in record ratings, the question remains, will the WNBA address these deeper issues? One thing's for sure, Caitlin isn't backing down. She's here to compete, and the WNBA is in for a wild ride.
Many people are curious about Kelly's remarks that have stirred controversy within the WNBA. Her strong opinions about Caitlin Clark have created quite a stir in the basketball community, causing an uproar among fans and analysts alike. Kelly's comments have sparked intense discussions, and now everyone is eager to know the specifics of what she said. In her statements, Kelly asserted that her own scoring record remains unbroken, even though Caitlin Clark has surpassed it. She argued that her scoring achievements occurred during a time when three-point shots were not part of the game, which seems unfair and outdated. Kelly's criticisms of the WNBA's treatment of Clark were direct and unambiguous. She emphasized that the way Clark is being treated is indeed serious and troubling. This isn't just an impulsive opinion. Kelly's views are influential and have led to significant backlash from various individuals, including well-known commentators like Jamili Hill, who have also voiced their opinions about the situation.
In Iowa, Caitlin Clark has become a superstar, captivating basketball fans with her incredible talent and drawing attention to women's sports like never before, but her rising fame hasn't come without controversy. Recently, outspoken commentator Megyn Kelly shared some scathing opinions about how Clark is being treated, particularly by the WNBA. Kelly's comments have sparked a heated debate, putting the spotlight on some complex issues within the league. Kelly didn't mince words. She claimed that Clark is being treated unfairly, facing aggressive play on the court that often seems to cross the line, and the league isn't doing enough to protect her. Kelly's comments suggested there may be underlying tensions that go beyond just competitive play. She hinted at racial and social dynamics, suggesting that Clark as a white player might be receiving different treatment from some in the WNBA, which is largely comprised of black players. This bold accusation has sent shockwaves through the basketball.
Caitlin Clark has only been in the league for a short time, yet she seems to attract a lot of negative attention. This scrutiny appears to stem not from her performance on the court, but rather from the media spotlight she has received and her race. Kelly questions whether this level of attention and criticism would be directed at another player if she were black, suggesting that the double standards in treatment based on skin color are glaring. This situation becomes even more serious as Kelly reveals that some players are deliberately targeting Clark during games. She emphasizes that this behavior is not merely a part of the game, like tough defense or competitive spirit. Rather, it amounts to outright abuse. Furthermore, Kelly claims that the WNBA is allowing this kind of behavior to continue without intervention. This revelation is shocking because it implies that the league is turning a blind eye to the aggressive tactics being used against Clark. Such actions have led to physical confrontations on the court that officials overlook, and players involved often deny that these incidents were intentional. Despite the pressure and hostility directed at her, Caitlin Clark maintains her composure and dignity, choosing not to blame others for her challenges. However, this unfair treatment persists, demonstrating a troubling dynamic within the league and the larger context of how female athletes, especially those of color, are sometimes treated.
Have you noticed what just occurred? Yes, Megyn Kelly just revealed something shocking to the WNBA. She isn't holding back when she reveals how they are treating Caitlin Clark as though she were an enemy.
Kelly didn't just stop with her initial comments. She went further by linking Clark's situation to larger problems in women's sports. Recently, Clark has received a lot of media coverage and public interest, which has sparked conversations. Kelly made a striking statement that many black women in the WNBA feel frustrated and upset because a white woman, like Clark, is receiving so much recognition and attention.
Came out to say her own scoring record stands despite Caitlin Clark beating it because I guess they didn't have three-pointers when she was playing, which is just ridiculous.
Kelly's remarks are not merely about the usual discussion surrounding fouls or aggressive play in games. Instead, she believes there is a deeper issue of racial tension simmering within the WNBA, and she suggests that Clark is at the center of this conflict. The criticism aimed at Clark isn't based on hatred or bigotry. Rather, it stems from a sense of injustice felt by some players who believe that Clark's rise to fame is undeserved simply because she is not black. This situation highlights the complexities of race and recognition in the world of sports. Kelly's statements left many people questioning whether she was correct about everything she said. It was certainly a thought-provoking inquiry, but one thing was clear. Her words were compelling everyone to take a serious look at the current situation in the league. According to Kelly, Caitlin Clark was changing the sport and bringing it into the mainstream. And if what she said was true, it seemed that not everyone was pleased about this transformation.
Kelly revealed something shocking. A lot of black women in the WNBA are angry that this white woman arrived and is receiving a lot of attention. Whoa. It is a major charge that has angered people on all sides. Kelly is discussing more than simply rough play and fouls. She claims that a complex web of racial conflict is simmering beneath the WNBA's surface.
The ratings for the games were at their highest point in over a decade. And Kelly was certain that this surge in viewership was entirely due to Caitlin Clark. When it came to the NBA, achieving a couple of million viewers for a game was considered a great success by the networks. Caitlin Clark, in her impact on women's basketball, was being compared to Michael Jordan, a name that even those who weren't very interested in basketball would recognize. Kelly emphasized that Caitlin was indeed the Michael Jordan of women's basketball, showcasing her extraordinary talent and influence. In fact, every player in the league, along with coaches, managers, and even the janitors, owed a great deal of respect to Caitlin. According to Kelly, they should all be showing appreciation and gratitude to her for the significant role she played in elevating the sport. She is changing the sport to make it more popular, just as the WNBA aimed to do when it began in 1994 or 1995. This situation is shaking up the WNBA, and what's happening now is just the beginning. The effects of Kelly's big news will be felt for a long time. The black eye that Clark had wasn't from partying, it was from playing on the court, and that's just the start. Fans should expect some shocking basketball moments, but they won't look like typical plays. Some may wonder how bad it could really be, but it's worse than it seems. It's not just minor roughness. It's as if some players forgot they were playing basketball and thought they were in a boxing match. Since she became a rookie in the league, she has faced repeated abuse from other players. One incident was when a player named Dune Carrington scratched Clark's eye during a game against the Connecticut Sun.
The worst part is still to come. There was no call for a foul, not even a whistle. The referees appeared to be watching a different game.
Surprisingly, in the game, no fouls were called, even though it looked like one player scratched Caitlin's eye on purpose. She claimed it was an accident, but it seemed clear she used her long fingernails to hit Caitlin. After the play, she pointed her hand down and it looked like she pushed her fingers into Caitlin's eyes. Caitlin ended up with a black eye, but the refs didn't call it. After the game, the player, Carrington, said she didn't even know she had hit Caitlin, which seemed unbelievable. Caitlin had a noticeable bruise for days, and it felt like Carrington was lying. Phil Houston, known for spotting lies, would say her behavior showed she was not telling the truth. Instead of a clear denial, she kept insisting she didn't mean to hurt anyone, like a bank robber claiming to be honest. Meanwhile, Caitlin kept getting knocked around on the court, with other players colliding with her and throwing elbows during the game. Even during timeouts, players were bumping into her on purpose. All season, Caitlin faced rough treatment on the court, which raised concerns about her safety in the game. Christine Brennan is known for her progressive views, so it's surprising to see criticism aimed at her. The WNBA is missing an opportunity to support their rising star, Caitlin Clark, who is facing an unusual amount of fouls during games. It seems there's an unspoken rule allowing players to be overly aggressive towards her. This situation reflects broader issues within the league regarding player safety and fairness. The conversation has shifted from just basketball to cultural dynamics, with some suggesting that race plays a role in the resentment towards Clark, a white player getting a lot of attention in a league where most players are black. While many acknowledge Clark's talent, there are concerns that her popularity stems from privilege linked to her race and looks. This controversy is forcing the WNBA to confront uncomfortable topics about race and gender. Caitlin Clark continues to compete fiercely, demonstrating resilience amid the drama. The future of the WNBA could see changes in policies and promotion strategies as they navigate this complex situation. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you think. Should the WNBA address these concerns more openly? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update on the latest stories. See you in the next one.